Well, they did it. They've officially qualified in for playoffs. I'm joined right now by Golden Glue Grayson, Golden Guardian himself, the god of the hour. Of course, this coverage brought to you by Alienware. So, Golden Glue, what was that match like for you? Because it just was a brutal slugfest from my perspective against Dignitas. I just saw so much kills. The game went on for quite some time. Tons of dragons on both sides. Baron posturing. So maybe you can break down the game for me.
It's like really fresh. It's hard for me to remember because the game was so long. Like I can't remember all the details. It was the most like the emotion I feel the most is just how intense the game was and how back and forth and close it was. I think we did a pretty good job of like having control through the early mid game, but I think we consistently had like slip ups throughout the game where someone would die, someone got caught, and that definitely like slowed down our snowball, which I think it ended up at the very end like we're just sitting mid for like 5 minutes, just looking at each other, both of us just like looking for a Zoe sleep or they're looking for a Renekton flank. Yeah, it was really just freaking intense game. It felt really good to win.
Yeah. Well, you kind of needed a crazy set of events to occur to get you in. I think it was like this team needs to lose, and then this team needs to win, and then you guys need to win, and then all these things kind of had to line up to get you the opportunity to even have the chance to win to get through into this tiebreaker situation. So what was it like for you going into this week, knowing that this was going to be, I don't know, is kind of crazy set of circumstances that had to unfold?
Yeah, honestly, I was going into the week like preparing for my season to just end because the situation was not in our control. My goal was just a 2-0 the week, and I was going to be happy with our like improvement, whether we made it or not. But luckily, those like stars aligned, and we got the best possible situation for us. And yeah, we stepped up when we needed to, and we made it happen. So I'm really proud of the team, and I'm happy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of all you can do going into a week where you don't really control your fate is just, plan for the 2-0, hope for the 2-0, and then see what else happens.
Yeah, for sure. I was definitely prepared for my season to just end because I knew we kind of needed a miracle to be able to have a chance. But we did it, so hell yeah.
Well, on Twitter right now, I feel like I see some of the Golden Guardians folks doing a lap around everybody who predicted you guys to be 10th place, and instead you guys got top 6 and made it into playoffs. So for you, does this feel like vindication?
It's definitely like a step in the right direction. Like obviously I didn't want us to have to fight this hard to be able to make playoffs. Like I wanted us to be like kind of breeze through and make playoffs like easier than that because I think we're pretty good. But I'm just glad that like when the tough times happen, we're able to grow and like step up in times of adversity. So yeah, I mean, it feels good for everyone like shit talking us, I guess, but it's not like we won. Yeah, we just made playoffs, so it's not like it's like we proved them all wrong. Like I think what would feel really good is when we make it deeper into playoffs and potentially win the whole thing. I think that'll feel really good.
Yeah. Well, what do you think your chances are in playoffs? You said potentially win the whole thing. I don't know if you've seen a team called Cloud9 play this split, but people I think are maybe favoring them a little more than some of these other teams.
Yeah, I mean, well, no fucking shit. We're not going to be the favorites going in. We're 6th seed and we barely made it in. But that makes it feel better when you play. Like being the underdog it's a good thing to be when you're competing. It's like a good mindset to have. So,
yeah. Well, how do you think the team will fare in best of fives? Because everybody always talks about, best of fives are a wildly different thing than best of ones, and it definitely felt like some of your games felt a little coin flippy this split. So, what do you think your chances are in these best of fives, or how will the team handle it?
I mean, I honestly I'm not really sure. We haven't been playing in BO5s, so we'll have to find out. I feel like we're pretty good at it. I think we've been pretty good at drafting recently, so we'll just have to see how well we can adapt in the moment because it's definitely a much different thing to have to adapt with like 5 to 10 minutes than when you have like a full day or like a week to adapt draft. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you? What about like the mental component? How well do you think you're compared for that? Because you know, in a game, a best of one, it's like you walk into it, you either win or you lose. It's very binary. But in a best of five, you might be down that first game, or you might be down the first two games, right? And you have to kind of figure out how to handle it. So, how do you feel the team is prepared for something like that?
I think we're pretty well prepared. Like I feel like you don't really know until the situation happens if you've prepared enough or not, or you have the mental readiness. But a lot of us have been playing for a long time. John has played at Worlds. Like we, this is not like our first time playing BO5s. So I'm not too worried.
Yeah. Well, with Closer, one of the things that I noticed on the Twitch stream was when you guys won, I think I saw more Turkish words, perhaps in the Twitch chat that I did English.
Yeah.
So what do you ever pick up on this? Do you feel the Turkish fan base supporting you guys?
Yeah, I definitely feel it. Every single time I turn on my stream, and my whole chat just "Where's Closer? Where's Closer?" That's
Oh,
pretty
really?
much.
Is that true?
Yeah. No, that happens every single time I stream. Um, yeah, no, I mean, I love all the Turkish fans. It's cool to see how like passionate they are about Closer. So yeah, it's cool to have their support.
Yeah. What was it like behind the scenes when you guys won? Because it's a weird situation, right? Like normally a match like that, there'd be some audience in front of you, and you guys would be jumping up and going crazy. The casters would be going crazy. The audience would be going crazy that you guys clutched it out and made it into this situation. But instead, it's like you guys are just in the office by yourself. So
Oh
what's
no,
it
we
like?
we freaked the fuck out. Yeah, no, we were like jumping up, screaming, hugging each other. Closer actually took his shirt off and then started like hitting people with it. And then I joined in. I took my shirt off and started hitting people with it. It was really a ruckus, you know.
Okay.
I feel like we should have that on actual LCS, you know. Like that, they could probably. I'm pretty sure the refs saw it in our camps.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, it was pretty freaking funny.
Yeah, I wish they would. I mean, obviously they're running with limited tech production capabilities, but that would be pretty great if they were able to play that back on stream. Although maybe they'd be nervous about airing.
Yeah, it might be a little NSFW.
Yes, no, I think I don't know what the Twitch terms of service currently are on shirtless men, but I'm surprised Hanser didn't do this. He seems like the type of rip your shirt
Yeah,
off
you
type
know,
person.
don't know what happened with that. I was
Okay.
expecting it too.
Do you think that this indicates that you and Closer are the two most passionate players on the team?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess we're just super passionate.
Yeah.
We were also really hot. Like we were very warm. You know, it was like sweaty, long game. You know, no AC. It's kind of warm. So
Okay, so maybe it
and
wasn't even
honestly,
the passion. It was just like you guys were so
well, you
excited to
know,
be able to take the
passion,
shirt off.
heat. I feel like those are kind of two things that go along. You know,
Gotcha. Gotcha.
heat
Well,
of the moment.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think we're still figuring out what the playoffs look like for you guys, but how are there any teams that you'd rather face or less likely or less interested in facing?
Definitely prefer to wait till the finals to play Cloud9.
Sure.
But that's pretty much it.
Okay, you feel confident against any of the other teams?
Yeah, I don't think it really matters who else we play.
Yeah. Right. Well, is there anything that you would like to say to any of the fans out there?
Yeah, just thanks guys for supporting us. We had a pretty tough season, and I'm glad we could perform when we needed to the most. And yeah, I'm just glad we could get back. So hope you guys enjoyed watching those games as much as I enjoyed playing in them.
Yeah. Well, looking forward to seeing how you guys do in playoffs. As always, a pleasure to interview you here in front of the LCS. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things esports right here on my YouTube channel. Thanks so much for watching that video. You know, we're at home right now. We're all at home. And I just want to say thank you to my sponsors for sticking through with me as we are in a very different type of esports, an older version of esports than right now. One of the sponsors is Movement, who makes a bunch of cool stuff, watches, glasses, all kinds of accessories for men and women. They've been with me for quite some time now, and I love it if you guys could help me out by just going and clicking the link in the description. That actually does help out a lot. You know, trying to make sure that we're still able to provide a lot of value to our sponsors as we shift to this online working from home version of LCS. So either way, thank you so much to Movement. You can check them in the link in the video description below, and there's a way to save some money if you do that. Also, shout out to Alienware for supporting everything that I do. Thank you so much to our sponsors.